Oh, baby, it's the best football show. And I'm Brian Baldy at Baldy NFL, all over social media. Was busy, really busy last week, posting on X, on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, you name it. I was busy. For Facebook, a lot on Facebook right now these days. So 5 different platforms. You can find me at Baldy NFL. You can download this show on your wherever you get your apps. A free Odyssey app. Download it. The best football show with Brian Baldinger. You can watch this daily. And let's face it, we've got news. I mean, this is Monday now. This is Monday, April 14th. We are literally 10 days away and counting to the NFL draft. I remember when it was 100 days away, and I thought, oh, we're miles away. Well, next week, teams are sending their representatives and players. We're going to find out today the players that are going to be invited to the green room. Those are guys that are projected to be first-round picks. So we'll get into that. But today, we've got news, all right? And I think we should hit this news that broke Friday. A lot of news involving quarterbacks. The Cleveland Browns signed Joe Flacco. And it's significant. It's really significant. He's not just a backup quarterback. Joe Flacco led the Cleveland Browns to the playoffs 2 years ago. Now, it was a disappointing playoff game when they went to play Houston. They got blown out. But Joe Flacco took over. He was the third quarterback that he took over, and he played great. And the fans and the team responded to Joe Flacco. Now, I know Joe really well. I have a house right in South Jersey, and Joe Flacco grew up literally 15 minutes away from me. And he still lives there, all right? His wife and his kids, all right? But Joe Flacco is an amazing player, an amazing athlete, because he has suffered no major injuries in his career, none. He came out in 2008 with Matt Ryan. Here we are, 2025. And a Super Bowl win and a lot of playoffs. Joe Flacco's arm is as good today as it was when he came out of Delaware. All right? Audubon, New Jersey. Like his arm is, I'll see him at Ron Jaworski's golf tournament in June. He looks just the same. Physically, 6'5", 235 pounds. Like he looks exactly the same. But here's what's significant. The Cleveland Browns now have Joe Flacco, all right? And they have Kenny Pickett on the roster. And Deshaun Watson said he's ahead of schedule. They literally have 3 quarterbacks on the roster. They've admitted their mistake about Deshaun Watson. We'll see what happens. But the Cleveland Browns would rather sign a failed 2-time released player in Kenny Pickett and trade for Kenny Pickett. They'd rather trade for Kenny Pickett, who's been to 2 organizations, failed in 2 places. Failed. I mean, they've given up on him in 2 places. And the 20th pick in the draft 4 years ago. And now 40-year-old Joe Flacco and a recovering Deshaun Watson. Then to probably take the second quarterback in the draft, whoever that is. That's all you need to know about these quarterbacks. And it's not to knock them. It's just how teams are evaluating them. The Cleveland Browns got a 40-year-old quarterback in the room. Might very well start for the Cleveland Browns this year. The New York Giants signed Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, both well past the prime of their careers, so that they don't have to draft a quarterback or feel pressured to draft a quarterback early. So Cleveland and New York Giants, you can take these 2 teams out of drafting a quarterback at 2 or 3. They may very well draft a quarterback later on, but they're not taking a quarterback at 2 or 3. That's what's significant about the Joe Flacco signing. The other news that broke this weekend was Derek Carr's injury to his shoulder. And he might need some maintenance, and it might put him out for the season. And they were counting on him. They have nobody else. Kellen Moore's the new head coach. They're picking number 9. Like the New Orleans Saints are right now very much in the quarterback market. And I believe if Shadur Sanders is there at 9, that's where he's going to get taken. And you get the luxury of a rookie coach coming into a franchise that has gotten old that is in salary cap hell that needs to be rebuilt. Well, it sounds like that's what Shadur is good at. That's what he did at Jackson State, and that's what he did at Colorado. And Kellen Moore is coming off a Super Bowl win. He's got the luxury of time. Kellen Moore, there's no way, no matter what happens to the New Orleans Saints this year, there's no way Kellen Moore is going to be one and done. It's not happening. Like what happened to Frank Reich or Steve Wilkes or somebody, or, what happened in New Orleans last year. That's not happening. They're going to be patient. So I believe right now the New Orleans Saints have gone from where if Derek Carr was healthy and ready to go, they might be in the quarterback market. But I think they're in the quarterback market for sure now at number 9. Somebody wants Shadur Sanders. They might have to trade in front of the New Orleans Saints to go get him. And, oh, by the way, in 2016, the Kansas City Chiefs traded from the back of the draft to get in front of New Orleans, who was picking 11, to get to number 10 to take Patrick Mahomes. Because their intel said Sean Payton was going to draft Patrick Mahomes to be the replacement and the heir apparent to Drew Brees. I think that's factual. I'm not making that up. I think that's true. So last week I started my first round picks, and I slotted my first round picks into 3 different categories. And last week I broke down tier 1. There was 11 players in tier 1, and I called them difference makers. When you draft these 11 players, they're going to start day 1 for you, and they're going to impact your team on offense or defense immediately. And almost in every case here, I'm going to make the case that these players are not just going to step in and play day 1. Not only are they going to impact and be difference makers, but you could start adding some win totals to your team from a year ago. Now, let me just run through my big board and the difference makers. There's 11 of them. And remember, every draft has 32 first-round picks. But there is never 32 first-round picks in any draft. And this year, I believe there might only be maybe 12 or 14 first-round picks. It doesn't look like it's a star-studded draft. I don't see Von Miller in this draft. Maybe Abdul Carter, maybe down the road, who knows. I don't see Jonathan Ogden. Now, I just don't see Hall of Famers at the top of this draft. Not to say they can't be. Play a long time, put up a lot of numbers, you can certainly get to the Hall. So that being said, I don't think there's going to be a lot of trades. But the top 11 players, the difference makers, as I looked at my board, I have Abdul Carter, number 1, Travis Hunter, number 2. I believe they're going to be the second and third players picked in whichever order. I have Ashton Genty, number 3. Mason Graham, number 4. Jalen Walker from Georgia, the inside linebacker / pass rusher, number 5. Tyler Warren from Penn State, the tight end, number 6. Colston Loveland, the tight end from Michigan, number 7. Cam Ward, the quarterback from Miami, probably going number 1 in Tennessee, number 8. Jihad Campbell from Alabama, the inside linebacker with pass rush ability, number 9. Will Campbell, no relation, number 10, the left tackle from LSU. And Jahdae Barron, the talented corner from Texas, as my 11th pick. Now, out of that 11, that's how I had them slotted. That's tier 1 difference makers. Now, out of that, I want to concentrate on 4 players. I want to concentrate on Ashton Genty, Tyler Warren, Jihad Campbell, and Will Campbell, because I believe they're going to be the top 4 players at their positions. So Ashton Genty, we play this game at NFL Network, like, okay, who's the comp? But what's the high-end comp? What's the low-end comp? So for Ashton Genty, Bucky Brooks the other day made the comparison. Now, he was somewhat tongue-in-cheek, but he did scout LaDainian Tomlinson when he was a scout in this league, and he reminds him of LaDainian. Now, LT still has the NFL record for touchdowns in the season with 31. I don't think it's going to get broken. LT had 8 straight seasons of 400 touches or more. Nobody's had that sort of endurance. So I don't want to put Ashton Genty in LaDainian's category. But can this guy be Nick Chubb? Yeah, he could be Nick Chubb. Like he has that ability. When you look at him, he's just muscles on top of muscles. Like his last 2 years at Boise reminds you of like everybody from Tony Dorsett to Nick Chubb, and healthy, no injuries, okay? This guy, and when you study him, you realize this guy can hit a home run from anywhere on the field. He's got that kind of speed. He's not quite 5'9". He's 215 pounds, thick, and bounces off contact. Now, what's interesting is if you look at the majority of Hall of Fame running backs, Barry Sanders, Thurman Thomas, Emmitt Smith, Tony Dorsett, I mean, I go on and on and on, right? Walter Payton. You look at the majority of Hall of Fame running backs, they generally are between 5'8" and 5'10". They're compact with breakaway speed, and they bounce off contact. They're contact runners. They run through it, all right? They don't go down on contact. And Ashton Genty fits into that mold. And what's interesting is when you study him, he's so much fun to study. Like, if you go back and you watch highlights right now of Gale Sayers, like he's fun to watch. His style is fun to watch. You watch, I played with Eric Dickerson. He's the outlier. And I played with Tony Dorsett. Like I blocked for both those guys. And for a while, I blocked, for Thurman Thomas in Buffalo. So I've been around great running backs. This guy, there's something about great running backs. They step into the huddle and they give everybody confidence. Regardless who the quarterback is, you just know that if you just get your block, get a stalemate on your block, they're going to make you look good. Like Ashton Genty makes you look good. He's fun to study. Like this guy, the way he's built, like he's just built for contact. Now, he also has the ability to avoid it, make people miss, and then take it to the house. All right, the next guy I want to talk about is Tyler Warren. Now, he had a breakout year, third year at Penn State. He catches 104 passes. The offense changed. This Drew Aller, the quarterback, I think he's going to be a high pick next year when he comes out. Maybe the first quarterback taken. But regardless, it helped that he got a good quarterback. And they built the offense around. I watched all 104 catches last year. They don't really wow you. It's just that he's always open. And a lot of it is he's a very fluid mover. He's got a big catch radius. He makes every catch look easy, no matter if he's jumping in the end zone and out jumping somebody for it, or he's running a crossing route or a tight end delay. The fact is, I can draw up 5 plays right now, right on this sheet right here. I could draw up 5 plays here to get the tight end of the ball. I don't care what down and distance it is. Tight end screens, tight end delays, seam routes, Y sticks, stick routes that they run in Kansas City to get Travis Kelce the ball. I can run shallow crosses. I mean, it's so easy to get the tight end of the ball. And what's easier is if you're 6'6" and you're 260 pounds. 265 pounds, like Tyler Warren. Like, there's no way Tyler Warren gets past the New York Jets at number 7. No way. Now, could Jacksonville take him at 5? Yeah. He could go that early at 5. It's real possible. Like, there's just – and, he wears number 44 at Penn State because his dad was a big John Riggins fan. He grew up in Virginia, grew up a Redskin fan. Like, there's a toughness to him that reminds you of Riggins and what he was like to tackle. Like, I think this guy doesn't go down easy. The comparison because of his size is Gronkowski. I don't think that's fair. Gronkowski was just such a beast, and he was such a great blocker. Maybe as good a blocking tight end as I've ever seen. Tyler Warren's a good blocker, but he wasn't asked to do stuff that Gronkowski did. Gronkowski was blocking Pro Bowl defensive ends one-on-one. But I think this guy could be really good at it. So that's Tyler Warren. Next thing I'm going to talk about is Jihad Campbell. I'll never forget, first time I saw Jihad Campbell from Alabama, the inside linebacker / pass rusher. But he's the first inside linebacker off the board. Sideline, like, is he Roquan Smith? He's bigger than Roquan. He's 6'3". He's 250 pounds. And that first time I saw him was at the Combine in Indianapolis. And the linebackers worked out Friday night. Now, a lot of people had kind of left. It's a long day there. I watched Jihad Campbell for 30 minutes just warm up, like working on his start because he was running a 40 that night, working on some drills, catching the ball. Like, I just watched the guy go to work. Man, just focused and like so fluid and smooth. Jihad Campbell, like, you got to look at his size. This isn't a pumped up inside linebacker or pumped up safety like some of these guys. This is a true off the ball inside linebackers with instincts, all right, that knows how to find the football. And look, there's been a lot of good linebackers that can run fast. They're not instinctual. They don't read patterns the way linebackers got to read patterns. I've been watching Luke Kuechly recently on one of these podcasts and Busting with the Boys, and he's talking about a lot of the plays that he made and why he saw it, how he saw it. And I'm not saying he's Luke Kuechly, because I don't know if he studies the game like that, but he's got instincts with size and speed. You know, he's bigger than Luke Kuechly and faster than Luke Kuechly. I don't know if he has the instincts that Luke has. We'll find out. Or Patrick Willis, who had those same instincts coming out of Tennessee and similar type size. This is a big, strong, fast inside linebacker. And if you want to put him outside and run him off the edge, you can do that because he's got real pass rush ability. He can bend. I think he's got some moves. If you want to play him on third downs off the edge, I think he's got to develop a little bit more, but still, he can win. And then the last guy I want to talk about here is Will Campbell. From day one, when I started studying these tackles, he was my favorite tackle. You got to think, this kid came out of Monroe, Louisiana, dreaming of playing for the LSU Tigers. That's all he wanted to do, play for the Tigers. He bled, purple and yellow, like he was a Tiger. So he's recruited, heavily recruited. He goes to LSU, 18-year-old freshman. He starts day one. He starts every game since being an 18-year-old freshman in that conference, going up against Will Anderson as an 18-year-old freshman and playing great. Going up as a sophomore, going up against Jared Verse, playing just fine. I mean, those guys are the last two reigning defensive players of the year. So when you're studying these stuff, the first games you go to is, well, let's watch Will Campbell when he lined up against Will Anderson. Did he get help? Did he need help? Did he get beat? How did he handle him? Was his arm length an issue? Will Anderson's a great player. Has been for Houston 2 years in a row. Jared Verse is a beast. And we knew he was going to be a beast. He was the Rams' first round pick in 8 years last year. And he's the reigning defensive rookie of the year. He was fine against Jared Verse. I think he gave up one pressure against him. And all he's done is getting better and better. He's almost 6'6". He's 315, 320 pounds. He's got an attitude, like the type of attitude you want on your offensive line. Like they're only the Patriots picking for. Like, you can make a case that they need playmakers, they need defensive stars. All that is true. They have not, when Tom Brady was rolling, they had Matt Light, who had short arms, had a great career, won Super Bowls. They had Nate Solder. Like, they've had some great left tackles, athletic left tackles. I don't know that they can pass up right now Will Campbell. I just don't think they can do it. If you look at Mike Vrabel, when he was, the number one seed at Tennessee, like, they ran the ball with Derrick Henry. They had a great offensive. Taylor Lewan, first-round pick out of Michigan, was their left tackle. They put a great offensive line together. And that's what Mike Vrabel's got to do. And sometimes you got to get the chess piece, the big piece. Like, I think Will Campbell makes the left guard better. He makes Drake May better. He makes the tight end next to him better. Like, this guy can play. He wins with his feet. He's got excellent feet. And there's just something about kids that come out of high school, go into major conferences, Big Ten, SEC, and they start right away. And not just start, but they dominate. Week in, week out, consistency, injury-free. That's what Will Campbell is. I don't believe he can get past the New England Patriots at the number 4 pick. So that's my first tier 1 players, difference makers. All 11 of these players, I believe, are going to be day 1 starters and have a chance to be Pro Bowl players in their first year. And that's been the Best Football Show. I'm Brian Baldy. I look forward to talking to you tomorrow and leading up to the April 24th draft in Titletown, USA, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Look forward to talking to everybody tomorrow. See you.